In Genesis chapter 35, verse 27, we read that Jacob went towards Isaac his father into Mamre, into the city of the field which is Hebron, in the earth of Canaan, where Abraham and Isaac sojourned. But the days of Isaac which he lived became 180 years. And having failed, he died, and he was added towards his genus, an elder and full of days, and Esau and Jacob his sons buried him. So Jacob came, or went towards Isaac his father into Mamre, into the city of the field, which is also known as Hebron. That's about 20 miles south of Jerusalem, and 15 miles south of Bethlehem, and that was in the land, the earth or ground of Canaan, where Abraham and Isaac sojourned. But the days of Isaac which he lived, or the length of time that he remained alive, came to pass to be 180 years. And after Isaac failed, he died. His life ended, and he was added towards his genus, his lineage, the other dead people who were members of his descent, kind, race, class, or sort of being. He was an elder and full of days. He was elderly. And Esau and Jacob his sons buried him. Now Isaac was 75 years old when Jacob was 15 years old, and that was when Abraham died. Jacob was 120 years old when Isaac died. There was a span of over 30 years between the time that Jacob left Isaac, recorded in Genesis chapter 28, and the time that Jacob returned to Isaac's location, recorded in Genesis chapter 35. Jacob was 77 years old when he left Canaan. Isaac was 137 years old. Jacob was 97 years old when he left Mesopotamia. And many events occurred during the next 10 to 13 years, such as Dinah was in Shechem, Benjamin was born, Rachel died, Reuben forfeited his firstborn rights, and you can refer to Genesis chapter 34, and again chapter 35, verses 18 to 22. Jacob returned to his father Isaac in Mamre, prior to Joseph being 17 years old, which is what we read in verse 27 of chapter 35 of Genesis. And Isaac died when he was 180 years old, and Jacob at that time was 120 years old. Joseph was 29 years old. So let's have a look. Here we have Isaac in this table, and he was 60 years old when he gave birth to twins, Esau and Jacob. He died when he was 180 years old. Jacob gained the firstborn rights from Isaac. Jacob was between 77 and 98 years old, approximately, when he had 12 sons and a daughter. His sons were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, and his daughter Dinah. Jacob died when he was 147 years old. Reuben forfeited his firstborn rights. So the genealogy of the Christ includes Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Judah. You can also refer to Matthew chapter 1 and Luke chapter 3. Jacob received the blessing due to him, being the son with the firstborn rights. That is recorded in Genesis chapter 25. However, Reuben forfeited his firstborn rights, refer to Genesis chapter 35, verse 22. And consequently, Joseph's sons, instead of Reuben, received the blessing of the firstborn rights.